Hey guys, it's Supa here. So today I'll be talking about the new sets, and this was something that was actually requested from you guys, and I'll be going through which characters benefit from which sets. So just as a preface, all of these sets are actually incredibly good and basically better than everything else we've seen. It's better than the fast killing and bone erosion sets, and it's better than the devouring set as well for basically most characters which benefit from it. So maybe let's start from the bottom over here with the Swift Blade stat. So this one gives direct damage bonus 15%, skill damage 20%, and speed 10%. So this is pretty straightforward, and well, it's quite obvious that characters which deal direct damage will benefit from this, and in particular damage dealers, because on top of that we get this skill damage plus 20%. If you don't know how damage works in this game, skill damage and things like these direct damage bonus are amongst the best stats you can get. It's generally better than an equivalent value of, for example, crit damage or mastery, so very, very strong indeed. And of course, we have speed, which is always going to be good on any character, and compared to something like the devouring set, which is generally the best gear set you can use before we had these new ones, you can see devouring set, while it does give attack, it doesn't give speed. So that's kind of the trade-off you're making. You're losing some attack, but instead you gain speed, and I think most people will agree that this is a positive thing. So which characters benefit from this Swift Blade set? Once again, direct damage characters, and if we take a look at the hero gallery, let's look at some. So I think the main one most people are talking about when we talk about that set which gives basic attack damage and skill damage is Boreas. So the reason why people talk about Boreas benefiting from this set the most is because this set gives skill damage, and Boreas is a character which wants a lot of skill damage. So from his exclusive 2, he wants 67% skill damage, and this is a very difficult value to attain. Even if you have good blessings, for example, with I have 2 S tier skill damage blessings, it's still very difficult to get that 67%. In fact, even some of the strongest players, myself included, did not get this high of a skill damage value. So before this new gear set, I think I was at 62%, and with this new gear set, first of all, compared to devouring set, which gives 18% skill damage, this new one gives 20%. And perhaps more importantly, and this will apply to every single one of these new gear sets, they offer some substats which you can't get in other gears. So just as an example, you can see we have skill damage over here as a substat. This is only available in these new gear sets. We have tenacity, and we have other things like basic attack damage, damage over time damage, things like that. So all those new stats which are showing up in these new gears. And that's why you can see over here, it's going to be very good for Boreas. So Boreas, of course, alongside wanting all the skill damage, is a direct damage dealer and will benefit from that direct damage bonus. So now previously, as mentioned, I was at 62% skill damage, and with the new gear set, I have now 77.8% damage, which is just really, really high now. So besides characters like Boreas, basically any direct damage character is going to benefit from these sets. So we can take a look at the direct damage tag. So once again, characters like Marie, for example, is going to be really great. Or if you're a free-to-play player, you don't have these two direct damage dealers, maybe something like a Dharma will be really good as well, because Dharma is a direct damage dealer. Something like Ans also could work, but Ans might be difficult because generally, first of all, you want some nice speed on him, and you want to get 150% crit rate. In fact, I think I shifted some gears around, so this should actually be above 150%. But yeah, just in general, you want them on your direct damage dealers. So that's the Swift Blade set. Next, we have the Wind Erosion set. You can see it's very similar to the Swift Blade one, except it provides damage over time. So damage over time is just basically every type of damage which isn't direct damage. So we have things like poison, HP burn, bleed, and we also have internal injury over here. And I'm not sure why the filter's not working, so let's go back. So let's once again, all the different damage over time types. Oh, because, okay, so we can only filter by one at a time. This shows, or we're trying to find things which is all of these types which don't exist. But anyway, that set is really good for damage over time characters because pretty intuitively you can see over here, it boosts damage over time damage. Once again, skill damage is going to be useful on basically every character. What skill damage does is it improves the damage from your skills, so special 4, your skill 4, and your skill 2 as well. So characters which benefit from this set will be things like Kain. Kain is a bit of a toss-up because you can build him both as a direct damage dealer and a damage over time dealer because he does both types of damage. But Kain can be a good example. Other characters which benefit from this set heavily: Vasily, doing damage over time damage, Giselle, Whale, and so on. So basically any character which does damage over time, which there are many. Next, we have the Spirit Light set and Rapid Rejuvenation set. So let's talk about the maybe Rapid Rejuvenation set first. So this one gives HP rate plus 25%, which is very high, speed 10%, and damage resistance 10%. So this one, pretty straightforward, is going to be going on probably your supports, especially ones which want HP rate, right? And the damage res is obviously very useful as well, which will simply just give your character a lot of damage resistance and keep them alive for longer. So this can be characters which scale really well off HP. Maybe something like Talis could benefit from this because even though she is kind of a damage dealer, I mean she does HP burn damage, for the most part you just want her to have lots of HP and some good speed as well. But maybe a better example would be a character like Nicolith. Nicolith will get stronger shields with higher HP. You want her fast as well, which the speed is useful for. And of course the damage resistance is going to be useful by keeping her alive. Other things can be maybe your Kalana, your Nordak, and so on. This set is really flexible for your supports. And lastly, we have the Spirit Light set. So this one gives Effect Hit, Effect Res, both 25%, and most notably Speed Rate with plus 15%. So this plus 15% is stronger than all the other gears we've seen. The second best gear with speed is the Firm Wind set with plus 12. This one's plus 15, which is a lot better. And this set is just going to go on any character which wants as much speed as possible. So many candidates for this. I think we're going to be seeing this most commonly on Apsara. People want extremely fast Apsaras. I think once people get good pieces of that gear set, we can easily see people with 3.6k, 3.7k speed. Once again, this is a gear set which you want to have on your supports, and specifically characters where you want as much speed as possible. So maybe a character like Kalana, you want her to be fast as well. That could be useful. A character maybe even like Bill, which you want really fast, that could be useful as well. Or maybe we have the new character Muhammad, which is supposed to have the highest speed in the team. Maybe he deserves that set. So I would say this Spirit Light set and Rapid Rejuvenation set, both are similar in the sense that you want to put them on supports, but generally you're going to give this set to the characters which you want speed basically at all costs, once again like Apsara, because this plus 15% speed is going to be really strong. So yeah, this is just a quick run through of which characters should be using each of these sets, and this is still really early into the release of these sets, so it's unlikely that you guys have many or any of these gear sets at all, but over time, if you get more of these, you will know how to use them. So that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.